Hey friends and family, hey loved ones, hey fools, hey all yous. How you doing today? What's shaking? What's stirring? What's waking? Waking and baking and fermenting and stewing and transitioning and transmuting and transforming, regenerating all the true, all this new. Yeah, all this new love that wants to come through. All of you, all of me, all of we. So, what do we get to choose, and what do we get to free? What do we get to create, and who do we get to be? So, it's time for a review because there's so much that has come through, and just looking at things like I tend to do every day, looking in and through. Yeah, the inner and the outer, and linking the two. And so, last time, or the last few times actually, I have been like just reflecting on our dual nature and the power of the two and all that the two holds. And yeah, the dual nature of one, like that duality and that wholeness through duality and unity, like totality through the one and the two, where the third can come through. And, and all that magic. So, what does that mean to you? And yeah, so I've been looking at like where have I been denying myself and where have I been blocking myself, and been asking certain questions in the last few weeks, and I've gotten like deeper understanding and like intimacy into me. I see, yeah, realizations through asking those questions and being open to receive, letting go of what it's supposed to look like or how I'm supposed to be, and just being willing and open to receive. So that's been a good practice for me, and actually like a good challenge as well. Because what I have been like kind of frustrated about is that it seems on the outer stage that a lot of people are unable to open their minds to anything else than what they believe to be true or what they believe, yeah, or what they've been told or taught is true. And so, yeah, just the willingness to change our own minds, or even just to consider something else. Make the room, make the space to look into another point of view, another story, another possibility, another truth. So, yeah, just thinking about some of those things, and like the tension of the two, holding the tension of the two so the third can come through. And so, yeah, just have my journal flipped open to this page that I didn't intend on flipping it open, but maybe it's open for a reason here. So this was on May 4th, a funny sort of tension almost all day, overthinking, believing that I had something to prove today. So much pressure and tension and contracting. That's so funny. I almost couldn't relax or slow down just to be here and receive. I felt like I really needed to receive and figure it all out immediately, or grasp onto something that was comforting. Searching for something, the answers, the truth, the salvation that I need. And then remembering, enjoy the journey. This moment is my life. So be. So be here and enjoy it. Be with the gift and be present. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Well, I talked, with some family today. They're feeling better. They've been feeling under the weather. So I'm glad that they're on, their way to recovery. And they're doing their best with all the rest they have going on right here. Saw some great things in a book yesterday about our stories and our sexuality, and tonight, I read some interesting things. About Rama and Lakshmi. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I had no idea a couple weeks ago when I opened my Healing Chants and Mantras book by Thomas Ashley Farrand that in Hindu mythology, Rama and Lakshmi were mates. I had no idea about that, but the two chants that I shared for that video had to do with Rama and Lakshmi, and so that's what I found out like a couple days later, and I thought that was so cool. Like, oh wow, that's so cool. So what I'd been chanting like the last couple weeks was Rama and Maha, because it just felt right, and I had no, like, my conscious mind had no idea about like that connection, but my intuitive mind or my rational mind, my subconscious, my unconscious, like, yeah, just had access, like, to knowing that those were right together, you know. So that was pretty awesome for me. Like, yeah, that kind of stuff happens and comes up all the time, where like certain things, like I'll just get certain connections, and I don't really realize like the significance of it, or like all the like layers of like those connections until later. And then like it just is like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Like just seeing it in different ways, in different levels. Yeah, so cool. Always, love always. And so yeah, the first thing that I was going to share, because it has a lot to do with valuing and appreciating our own gifts and our own worth and our own lives, and who we really are. So working on that and working through that and playing with that. And so enjoying practicing appreciation and self-acceptance and self-love, and truly like appreciating and increasing that value of all that I love, honoring all that I love. And so I just want to say, hey, thank you for being here and being you. I super appreciate you and all the contributions that you make and my connection, my relationship with you. So thank you. I love you, and I praise you and I bless you. And I super appreciate you, and I acknowledge you. I praise and I thank and I celebrate you. And I bless all the love we are. So thank you. So gratitude and joy, that's what I've been focusing on as well. Just to be aware and acknowledge like all the gifts and the blessings and the potential that's right here. Everything that we have like to draw from and draw upon, our resources, our connections, our inner wisdom, and all the love we are, all that we have love for. And so like joy and gratitude, like practicing that gratitude and choosing that joy and choosing to live in joy even when like there's feelings of sorrow and pain, and not glossing over like the things that feel like painful or uncomfortable or unpleasant sometimes. Allowing that and acknowledging that and meeting that and thanking that and saying, oh, thank you for showing me where I can care for myself, where I can express and show care for myself, where I can act to show care for myself, where I can pay attention and love myself right here. And I'm willing to. And so, yeah, the joy can burn out our pain, and we cannot rid the world of sorrows, but we can choose to live in joy. But let's not ignore and have ignorance of our pain, or where that suffering and dis-ease comes from, or yeah, how it may be activated from old wounds or old trauma that's stored in our body and affects us, yeah, in the way that we operate in the world. If we're unconscious of it, if we can become more aware of it and more conscious of it, then like, we can work with it, we can include it, we can honor it, we can integrate, we can transmute and transform it. In service to the whole. And so just being willing, because I've been looking at certain things, and yeah, there are, like, it is all about attitude. It's about our attitude and our thoughts that we think and our thoughts that we choose. But that doesn't mean we need to judge ourselves or beat ourselves up when we have certain thoughts that really maybe don't contribute or are aligned with what we really want, with who we really are, with what we know is really true. So paying attention to those thoughts or those thought forms, or those stories or those scripts, descriptions, or those just story loops that keep repeating, those can help us wake up, actually, if we don't ignore them, if we attend to what's being asked or offered and presented. So when something emerges from my subconscious or my unconscious, or I start to have certain feelings or whatever, I just check in with myself and I just watch and I observe and I listen and I witness. And this is just like a practice that I've been practicing and still willing to play with and practice. And it is just a continuous process. But I will, remind myself to become more present and listen and observe and witness, either choosing a new thought, and if those thoughts emerge again or they come to play back again, then I know that there's something that's being offered and something coming up for me to pay attention to, because it is like an energy pattern that's coming up to be interrupted or to be allowed to move through me. Yeah, so just allowing the feelings to come up, to be felt, and to be moved, instead of getting attached to a story or attaching a story to the feelings that want to be moved through. And so, yeah, it just takes a little discernment and a little bit of practice to play with and to learn how to engage and link the conscious and the unconscious, making the unconscious conscious and bringing the dark into the light. And so we can become more aware. So yeah, so some of those stories that come up, I just allow myself to write them down or to speak them out, and then see the hidden truths and the hidden wisdom within that lie or that mythology or that story. Yeah. And so, yeah, maybe I'll have an example of that in a little bit. But what I was looking at was reviewing what was going on last June, because we're coming into the completion of a cycle now and the beginning of a new cycle. And this is all of the things, integrating all the things that I've learned and applying and practicing that wisdom. That I received and that I worked through last June. And coming into another eclipse season and getting ready to be initiated into something new. And so reviewing last June and last eclipse season, and it was all about the dismemberment stage and the pain of feeling cut off, abandoned, rejected, and separated, betrayed, and wrongly judged and accused, misunderstood and blamed, disallowed, not enough. Yeah, all of those things. And so there were a lot of poor me stories. And so what I started writing down and asking myself is, what do I value? And what can I nurture, care for, and appreciate? Where can I fully allow myself to be? And where can I allow others? their own ways. So owning my voice and owning my choice, voicing my truth and freeing my voice, that's my currency. Reevaluating my relationships, my worth and my creative energy, my values and desires. What's my relationship to authority? What's my relationship to power? Where am I, like, maybe unaware of my self-preservation or survival strategies, and how is that, like, running me? And so there were persecution themes, and wounds of separation. And I wrote, the comfortable, the known, the safe comfort zones, the life we know, the payoff zone. Just surrender control. We really don't know. We really don't know what we don't even know. It's okay not to know. Just let it unfold. Allow and be shown. Trust and let go. Just be in the flow. Embrace the unknown. Be here and let go. Breathe and let go. Show up and let go. Relax and let go. Thank you, I know. I am supported. I let go. Thank you, I know that it's okay not to know. Thank you for the support that's available now and holding all the whole. Thank you for the gifts of this journey of the whole. Thank you for the gift of surrendering and letting go. Thank you for the gift of trust, strength, faith, and grace, the power in letting go. Letting go, letting go, letting go. And that's been like a really great practice for me, to let go, to suspend, and hang around, hang out like the hanged man, upside down, to get another perspective, okay? And just let go. And so the last couple days, been looking at samskaras and letting, like, that old packet of energy as it's reactivated, allowing it, like, to pass and to move through me. And that's been, like, pretty interesting in a lot of ways, like where the stuff that I read the other day from the Untethered Soul, it was so great because it was just articulating it in a way that, like, I intuitively kind of have been shown and, like, am aware of in certain ways. But, like, it was just great to hear another's voice and the way that they see it. And it just enhances, like, my own awareness of it in certain ways and expands on it. And so it really does contribute, like, a lot. Like, when I read certain things that are describing, like, the same things that I know and that I'm working with and working through, and then it just, like, just has a whole nother, like, viewpoint that, like, just adds to my own, and I really appreciate that. So it's not maybe exactly the same, and it's maybe, like, interpreted a little bit differently, but I super do, like, appreciate that point of view that contributes to my own or adds more to my own. And so there's something to look at there, like appreciating others and what they have to contribute and offer and give and share and be, because we all are a part of each other, and that's the magic of being one. So this is something that I wrote a couple days ago. It says, I like to contemplate and I like to ponder and question. My mind, old beliefs, thoughts, ideas, concepts, stories, myths, truths and lies, opinions. I have over-identified with the thinker and the seeker, rather than the creator archetype in the past. So I choose to develop and cultivate my skills and focus on the basics. And I am receptive and open, active, direct, assertively aggressive, allowance, willingness, surrender, reception, acknowledgement, accountability, and appreciation, gratitude, presence, joy, and participation. So, yeah, the power of the two. So, claiming both sides of the one whole and harmonizing those aspects, and yeah, unifying and synthesizing all those parts that are part of that dual nature into a coherent whole. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I've been looking at. And then, so after my video, like 2 days ago, I was going to look at the third stage again in Women Who Run with the Wolves. So we've been talking about dismemberment, which is the second stage, and I wanted to go into the third stage again, and then maybe go on to the fourth stage, because that's where I feel like I'm in transition between the third and the fourth right now. And so I flipped open my book, and actually, like, where I ended up was on this page near the front of my book. Where'd my glasses go? There. So, page 125 and 124, that's what I flipped it open to, and it was the dual nature of woman and the power of two, and I was like, oh my gosh. And this is from the chapter, The Mate, Union with the Other. And so I just wrote a couple of things down about that, and I thought, oh wow, it's really cool. That wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but it was actually what I needed, and it was perfect. So I was open to receive it, and I was just blown away. So I'm just going to share a little bit about the power of the two and the dual nature of women. And so, like, the twins have been coming up and the double, and there's some stuff going on with Gemini right now, and in less than a week the sun will be moving into Gemini, and so I've been looking into the astrology, and Mercury and Venus are in Gemini right now, and yeah, doing some pretty cool dances. But anyways, like, the power of the two and the dual nature of women. So the two women who are one, they're separate but conjoined elements which combine the psyche in 1,000 different ways. And so there was a story in this little chapter, and it was just a little brief story that was told to her, Clarissa Pinkola Estes, and it was called One Stick, Two Stick, and I think it was an African story, and it was this man who gave each of his family members one stick and told them, okay, I want you to break this stick. And so they broke the stick, and it was pretty easy for them, and yeah, pretty easy to break when it was just the one stick. And then he told them to join all of their sticks together, or by twos and threes, and then see if they could break it. And sure enough, because those two sticks were together, those three sticks were together, it was unbreakable. And so it just goes to show us, like, that we are stronger when we stand together rather than apart or alone. And so, yeah, I thought that was a nice little, like, reminder. So one stick, two stick, standing as one together. And also there is something in this chapter about, like, the power of names and the knowing of names. And so in the matter of guessing the names, to say a person's name is to make a wish or a blessing over them. We name these dual temperaments in ourselves in order to marry ego to spirit. This naming and marrying is called, in human words, self-love. When it occurs between two individuals, it is called loving another. So I liked that. This naming and marrying is called, in human words, self-love. We name these dual temperaments in ourselves in order to marry ego to spirit. So, also in this chapter, there was a story of a man who needed to guess the names, and he was a suitor of two daughters, and he needed to actually know their true names in order to be worthy of knowing them and marrying them. And so, yeah, that was just awesome. So in this story, there's a fatherly watchman, and that watchman, he represents, yeah, the watchman of the healthy psyche. And in the tale, the twins' father acts as the guardian of the mystical pair. He is symbolic of an actual intrapsychic feature which ensures the integrity of things staying together and not being split apart. It is he who tests the worthiness, the rightness of the suitor. It is good for women to have such a watcher. So the watcher is coming up again. And the watcher, yeah, I shared about the last couple videos, and also relates to raccoon medicine, generous protector, and the watcher, and he'll come up again too. So, yeah, and in this story, the suitor, his name was Manawe, and Manawi or Manawe, whether as an internal or an external figure, represents a fresh but faith-filled lover whose central desire is to name and to understand the mysterious and the numinous double in women's nature, the mate union with the other. So, if a woman hides one side or favors one side too much, she lives a very lopsided life which does not give her access to her entire power. It is necessary to develop both sides, the power of two. And so, yeah, that's the instinctive nature and the civilized. So the civilized self and the wildish self. And so, yeah, that's like the logical and the irrational, the masculine and the feminine. So, we are strong when we stand together with another soul. We are strong when we stand with another soul. When we are with others, we cannot be broken. Likewise, when both sides of the dual nature are held close together in consciousness, they have tremendous power and cannot be broken. This is the nature of psychic duality, of twinning the two aspects of women's personality. The loss of women's psychological, emotional, and spiritual powers comes from separating these two natures from one another, the civilized self and the wildish self, so the rational and the instinctual self. Yeah. So the loss of women's psychological, emotional, and spiritual powers comes from separating these two natures from one another and pretending one or the other no longer exists. The power of the two is in acting as one integral entity. So likewise, a woman has tremendous powers when the dual aspects of psyche are consciously recognized and beheld as a unit, held together rather than held apart. The power of two is very strong, and neither side of the duality should be neglected. They need to be fed equally, for together they bring an uncanny power to the individual. Our instinctive nature has the tenacity and sharp hearing instincts, the sharp hearing to find, chase, and retrieve valuable ideas, and learns to overcome superficial seductions and retain the most important knowings. So, yeah, those are just some of the things that I wrote down in my journal from what I received from like reading that, The Power of Two and the Dual Nature of Women. And I thought that was so cool because last time, in my last video, I shared something that I found in my little creative journal, which was exactly about that. The yin and yang, the polarities within, and because we all have both sets of characteristics within us, this is an important tool for balancing. It can pinpoint conflicts or one-sidedness and can help harmonize these aspects toward reaching psychic wholeness and unity as seen in the yin-yang symbol. And like embracing that dark and that light and the things that we like and we dislike, and allowing that contrast. In this next little exercise, creative exercise, was me and my shadow. And here's a tool for exploring your so-called positive, negative sides, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, polarities that live side by side as partners inside each one of us. This exercise is designed to help you see yourself as you really are and hopefully lead the way towards self-acceptance and acceptance of others as they are, not as you would like them to be. So this is so perfect. Oh, and I just flipped open to page 152, 153, and it says letters to others, and I didn't plan on this, but here we are, so I'll let it be. Sometimes letters contain important statements about the letter writer's life. Your letters are worth keeping as a record of your life at a given point in time. A letter can also be an important tool in clarifying thoughts, feelings, wishes about yourself, as well as about the person to whom the letter is written. Not all letters to others need to be sent. In some situations, a private letter written in your journal can help you understand and formulate your inner response to the other person in a relationship. In this way, you can sort things out and perhaps become clearer about your feelings. Of course, you may decide to share the feelings face to face. Share your feelings face to face. In this instance, the private journal letter serves as a preparation ground for more direct and effective communication. You may even want to give a copy of all or part of the letter to the other individual. This is a means of documenting your own personal history as you live it. It is also a tool for clarifying relationships and promoting better communication. And here's a little quote. I hope I shall be able to confide in you completely as I have never been able to do in anyone before, and I hope that you will be a great support and comfort to me. Anne Frank, June 12, 1942, to her imaginary friend Kitty, in the diary of Anne Frank. I hope I shall be able to confide in you completely as I never have been able to do in anyone before, and I hope that you will be a great support and comfort to me. I think that's really sweet, because we do have like that witness and that imaginary friend available and accessible to us. Like, yeah, because we are our own friends, and yeah, we can choose to be a friend to ourselves, choose to be a friend to life, and life is a friend to us. Yeah, and so friendship with ourselves, yeah, that's a worthy goal, to love ourselves, to become whole. And to honor ourselves, to honor our full, true, whole selves, and all the love we are, just as we are, here as we are, through all that we are, for all that we are. And with that being said, I just have like these little packets that I created and I typed up a couple years ago, I think in 2017, for a little workshop that I had, and it was my focus in the art of giving the right fucks. It was just to help me, like, it was good empowering reminders for me of what's important to me, what matters to me, and what I value, and what I want to create through cultivation, appreciation, and reciprocity. And so my alchemy recipe, essential ingredients to nourish my being and set my love free. Focus and self-love. And this is just, yeah, this little section here. And I had like so many different like virtues and qualities that I appreciate, like that really help me be true to me. But I'll just share this little thing on focus and self-love. Focus comes from the Latin word for fireplace or hearth. So I choose to focus through my love, my heart, my faith, grace, and being, listening to my soul nudges and her whisperings, and letting her speak and be received through me. I look within to see me deeply, my intimacy for me. I choose to pay attention and receive what's here for me, to receive what's here with me. I choose to listen deeply and let go of all I need. I choose to be aware. I choose to be here now. I choose to be present, allowing, attentive, full of love and care. I choose to focus on love, wholeness, and possibilities, knowing everything is energy and a whole part of everything. All is related and connected to me. I choose to own, claim, and honor my power to free and empower me. I am the author of my story. I choose what's right for me. I choose what's right for me. I claim my wholeness, fullness, all my energy, my power to destroy, my power to create. I claim my light and dark, my fertility and purity. Yay, integration. And this other packet, just all about like individuation, transformative learning, and integration, and symbols and ritual, and the power of that, recapitulation and alchemy and individuation, archetypes, and all things related to consciousness, the psyche, the ego, the unconscious, the collective unconscious, the shadow, persona, a complex, and the self. Yeah. so it's really fun to see all these things after all these years of just kind of like answering the call of my soul, like, and going on my own heroine's journey and returning home to myself, like going out into the world to find, to go on a quest and to answer the call, and then coming back home to myself, and then going back out into the world again to share what I've learned. All those stages and phases of our cycles of growth and transformation. And so this continuity, there's some things coming up for me this week that were a lot easier to allow and just to meet and to acknowledge. To thank, really. Even though, like, some of the things that are happening I really don't like, but they are an invitation and an opportunity. And so, something that's kind of personal, pretty personal, actually, that I was, just kind of at peace with, though. And I was, like, kind of feeling a lot of sorrow and sadness about, like, some of the separation between me and some of my relations. And it's okay, though, because I know that, like, this is a necessary separation. And it is, like, this dismemberment stage, so that we can, like, fall apart and then come back together in true alignment, with who we really are. And so that's why it's like, okay, thank you. Like, maybe it doesn't, like, feel or seem or look like it's all right, but it really is right now in certain ways. But, like, acknowledging, like, the pain of the separation, but, like, feeling grateful and choosing faith that all will be well, and all is well, and all is held, and all is, like, being healed, and all is healed already, and all is whole and full and complete. And it's just like allowing the process of transformation and healing, to be manifested and realized, and received. And so, so just kind of looking at some things, and I had a dream yesterday, that I just want to share a little bit of, and then we'll go on from there and tie it into appreciation, self-love, self-worth, and counter economics and parallel structures, and creating the new and letting the old, like, fall away. So in this dream, there was a lion. It was like, not like the hugest lion, but a pretty good sized lion, riding in a van with me. And so I wasn't the one driving, but I was, like, in the middle of the van, in the middle of the aisle between two seats, trying to actually provide stability and support for this lion that was kind of sliding around in the van. Like, it seemed like it was like sort of like metal type floors, and he was just kind of like sliding around on his feet. And so, like, I kind of, like, braced myself between the two seats to kind of help him, to kind of help the lion, and, like, provide both of ourselves stability. And it was kind of funny too, because it reminds me of the strength card in the tarot, number 8, and that has been coming up a lot for me. On this previous page, I wrote strength in Durga, Sekhmet, lion, pride, and power, relaxing into love, faith, wholeness, true fullness. Nut and Jeb, and Father Sky and Mother Earth, dual opposites, the twins, Gemini, and the horns of Taurus. The martyr, the miser, the whore, the beggar, the bargain without knowing. The tyrant, the idealist, the nitpicker perfectionist, the entitled virtuous victim, the spiritual ego, the superego, the orphan, and the outsider. The twin, the long-lost twin, the ghost, the addict, the fraud, the saboteur, the rescuer, the tragic romantic. the know-it-all, Mother Superior, the cruel abandoning mother, the smother mother, and the devouring force. The watcher, the compassionate witness, the father, the mother, the child, the fool, the guardian, protector, the giver, and the healer. The pirate, Robin Hood, the thief, the warrior, the challenger, adversary, trickster, the rebel, the stranger, the friend, the advisor, the liberator, the wise old man, the inner teacher. Brotherhoods, sisterhoods, secret orders, secrets in what's been hidden, occulted, esoteric, hidden in plain sight and hidden within the depths. Balancing, rejoining, and union again, separation and dismemberment, reunion and remembrance, the Christos resurrection. And then I wrote down like my animal companions that have been popping up to play, and there's several of them that will come up again, I'm sure. And the salamander as well has been coming up a lot, and it's so funny. Like, I love it when these things like come up and just wink wink. So it's kind of funny, all these things. And currency and the fires of purification. So with that, I'll just share a little bit about this dream now. So a lion that was tender and tough. So we had both sides, dual aspects. So he's in an old style family van with me. Is he a pet, an ally, a companion, a friend, or a part of me? It's a male lion sliding around in a van on a ride down the freeway or an open highway. I'm not driving. I'm in the middle of the vehicle between the aisle seats, trying to offer some stability and centering, maybe find a middle way. There's another character. So there was another sequence and another scene in this dream. It was another character, and he reminds me of one of the Ironborn in Game of Thrones. Me and my husband have been watching that again. We just started it like last week. We're on season 2. But he reminded me of Dagmir, like the first mate. Anyways, he's kind of a pirate thug, and he has both aspects within him as well. He's fierce and he's soft. He's tough and compassionate. So is this tough, compassionate love? Is this fierce compassion to help me own my own stuff and open more fully to love? This guy shares vulnerably with me, and he gives me a warm, full embrace, heart hugs. He has experienced such pain and sorrow, grief and rage. He almost got swallowed up by the pain, shame, guilt, and rage. He's ready to let it all go, set it all free. So this is, the thing that's been coming up for me. He's been smoking, and it doesn't serve him to continue this destructive thing that keeps him in chains and craving, desiring the next pleasing comfort or satisfactory feeling or pleasurable escape. Desire and fear cycles of who I need to be, of what I am not, of what I cannot be, of who I cannot be, of what I cannot be, to be worthy, enough, loved, and complete. So I'm ready to surrender and give it all up, ready to free myself and allow that all that I love. I'm ready to surrender and be all that I love. I'm ready to let go and receive all that I love. I'm ready to open and receive all of this love. I'm ready to open and be all of this love. I am open, I am willing, I am always enough. I am willing, I am open, I am willing, I am loved. I am worthy, I am willing to receive all of this love. I am open, I am willing to trust in all of this love. I let go and surrender. I let go of this love. No need to cling or push away. Just be here and be love. Love always. So it's like something that I wrote like in the morning yesterday. And then I had a dentist appointment, and I went in for a root canal. And that was like, a good time for me to practice, like just being there and being present. It was a 3-hour appointment. And it was just fine. And so just kind of like applying certain things, this divine wisdom, into the most mundane things, and seeing like how there's so much magic really, like in allowing that, and then being present and receptive and open to what is. And so it is like very cool in a lot of ways. So it was kind of funny in a lot of ways, where I had just written down like that Peter Pan thing, Peter Pan and the captain of the ship and the pirate, and all those archetypal themes keep coming up. And actually, while I was at the dentist actually mentioned Peter Pan and Captain Hook while he was talking to his assistant or hygienist, yeah. And I thought that was kind of funny. So, like, and also I had written down, like, with my animal friends and companions, like, of course, rooster keeps coming up. He's been coming up, like, the last 2 months, so it's not surprising. And chicken, you know. So duck, swan, lynx, ant, badger, bat, my community. Robin, sparrow, quail, swan, duck, geese, rooster, rooster or cock, chicken, pig, turkey, butterfly, and dragonfly. Horse and horsefly, rhino and oxpecker bird, symbiotic or parasitic lives and dynamics. Turtle, bear, wolf, hawk, eagle, vulture, condor, buffalo, antelope, crow, raven, heron, dog and cat, dragon, phoenix, griffin, unicorn, mermaid, and salamander. So that was kind of funny, where, yeah, some of these things came up, where as well, my dentist was saying something about him not being a spring chicken anymore because he's been practicing for 30 years now. But, like, and he's like, well, I guess I'm a spring rooster. And so I thought that was funny again, too, like, where it was just like, just random, like, mundane, silly things that just pop up to play if we're paying attention. And so it just always makes me smile in certain ways, just, yeah, to get those things. But, and how seemingly random they are, but there are no accidents. So it's just kind of funny, like, focusing on certain things and inviting love to play with me. And yeah, and it's all it's all about the play. Wake up and play, fucking A, it's okay. Yeah. So I did write down last night a couple of things. Yeah, I actually had like a freaking awesome nap after that long dentist appointment, and then I was unable to actually get to sleep when I usually do turn in for the night. So I just made use of my time and looked into some other things that were pretty cool and relate. And it just like, I didn't even go trying looking for them. It just like, yeah, they just like came like to me, or they were drawn to me, or I was drawn to them. So dual nature. So Peter Pan and Captain Hook, the Cap, El Capitan, the Lost Boys and Tinkerbell, Kronos and Time, the pirate Robin Hood, generous protector, and the thief, joker, jester, villain, fool, the knight in shining armor, and the damsel in distress, the spring chicken, the spring rooster and raccoon, quail, sparrow, raven, crow, and dove, hawk, messenger, Hermes, Mercury, Horus, and Thoth, Jesus, Sophia, Mary, Magdalenes, Essenes, Kuan Yin, Athena, Aurora, Diana, Leda, Eris, Lilith, and Eve, Arthur, Merlin, and Round Table Governance, Secret Orders and Codes, dogs and cats, fish and birds, humans and earthlings, reptiles and aliens, angels, demons, Durga, Kali, Sekhmet, the Hathors, the mothers, Isis, the bull, the ass, the sheep, the cow is the tree of life, elephant, flower of life, yin yang, Merkaba, Vesica Pisces, Mandorla, Mandala, Orion, sun, moon, stars, Venus, and the Pleiades. And yeah, that's just like, just because like it's fun for me, like just to do word association and just kind of like get into that stream of those archetypal themes. And it doesn't have to make any logical sense at all, but actually it does make a lot of irrational sense to me in a lot of ways. And I love like that part, like that right brain creativity, like where it doesn't have to be anything other than it is. And so like, yeah, that's half of what my writing is really. It's just like yeah, that wordplay and free word association. So yeah, it's fun love that I choose for me. And it really does like open me to like all of these qualities, and in relationship like with all that is, to develop and cultivate the relationships that I have with all of life, so, through my own life. And then something that I saw yesterday was just like looking through my emails and like, oh yeah, all of these unopened emails and like for the last couple days. And I got one from the Young platform. And I thought that it was like the coolest thing because it had some great questions in there for me. And so I want to share them and offer them if you so choose to receive. And so it was from the Jungian or the Young platform, and talks about the inner call. Life is an ongoing call that invites us to participate in the mystery and find a deep sense of purpose. The invitation to be you is within you every day. So here's a little quote. The hero in each of us is required to answer the call of individuation. We must turn to the inner voice. James Hollis. So here's some questions. There's just five little steps. Step 1. What current situation, experience, or symptom is drawing your attention? What are you most disturbed by? And I thought that was great because of what I read in The Untethered Soul about the disturbances, like the inner disturbances or the feelings of unease, or like when those energy packets or the samskaras get activated and it causes a disturbance within us. And like once we can look at the disturbed part, what was it? We can observe it and we can ask, who is seeing this? What part of me is seeing this, and what part of me is asking for me to integrate, or what is being asked of me here, like what is being offered, what am I being invited to reclaim, and all of that kind of stuff. And so I thought that was great because what are you most disturbed by, and or what gives you the most positive energy? And so I was looking at that the other day, like let's look into like what supports our energy and what drains our energy. So what helps us sustain and what is actually a drain. I'm kind of like looking into those things as well. So I just answered this little question briefly, like very briefly. I'm most disturbed by ignorance and arrogance, an unwillingness to open, listen, hear, and see or accept another's point of view or story, or even allow them to be heard or to speak. An unwillingness to question the nature of our own realities, wasting energy on things that divide us and keep us separate. Let us all remember who we really are. Let us stand together and learn to love all we are. So step 2, recognize in yourself all the obstacles that are preventing you to engage with the situation. What are your fight, flight, freeze, or fawn responses? I added fawn. And so I thought that was great too, because what are our survival strategies? Like our kind of like unconscious reactions. Recognize in yourself all the obstacles that are preventing you to engage with the situation. And so what I wrote about that was fear, pride, self-doubt, and insecurity, and the victim poverty programming that's like contributes to the wounds of separation. So all the obstacles. So my obstacles. So what I can do once I'm aware of those obstacles or those blocks, where I'm cock blocking myself, I can see that it's fear, pride, self-doubt, and insecurity, and it is like victim poverty, consciousness, and programming. So I can confront and I can face my fears. I can become aware of my fears, and once I'm aware of my fears, like they will have no power to run me. And I reclaim that power to choose for myself, and I choose to let go of that fear, acknowledge that fear, thank that fear for showing me where I can show up for myself, what I get to reclaim, and what's being asked to be attended to. And all of that. So step 3, imagine that the situation is asking you to relate to it. Does it want you to come to terms with it? Is it asking for you to develop certain qualities? What does it need from you? So what I wrote down was to remember all that I am, self-acceptance and self-love, true compassion. So it's asking me to develop certain qualities. Imagine the situation is asking you to relate to it. Yeah. So if it's arrogance and ignorance and like another's unwillingness to accept another's point of view or story, yeah, I can allow that. Like, let us all remember who we really are. And I can know that it's their responsibility to choose for themselves and to learn for themselves. And if it really, really, really bothers me, like that, I have felt unallowed or disallowed to speak or to have my own story or to have my own ways of being and to have my own choices and my own integrity. Like, I can claim that for myself, and I can allow that for and extend that to all others. And so I can choose to be more open. I can choose to be more allowing and to listen, but I don't have to feed into or reinforce bullshit stories. Like, I really don't. But I can listen with the intent to understand, and just the intent to like appreciate where the other is coming from and appreciate like my own ability to respond. Step 4, in what direction is your soul guiding you to go? And just a short and sweet and simple answer, forward and through. Just move forward and through this. And then step 5 is to do a ritual and ask the mystery for support, help, and guidance, and express your gratitude. So I haven't done that, but maybe this weekend I will. I'll just like do a short and sweet little ritual and with an intention, and ask the mysteries for support, help, and guidance. And I've been expressing my gratitude. Thank you for this opportunity. And thank you for all the gifts that are always being given. And so I watched a little astrology video on the archetypal, and maybe not archetypal, but just the intuitive astrology for this week of May 12th through the 19th on Molly McCord's channel. And I saw this quote and I listened, to her little, preview or little offerings about the 12th through the 19th, and what kind of qualities we'll be working with and energies we'll be working with. And there's this little quote from The Modern Heroine's Journey of Consciousness by Molly McCord. The call of her soul was an awakening to all that she is, with no limitations, no self-judgments, no overactive ego mind, no shadow, and no restrictions. Answering the call of her soul allowed her to go into all depths of her energy. She went to the deepest fears and the tallest achievements, the wildest expressions and the narrowest interpretations. She soared up to her greatest manifestation. She dove into the darkest corners to clear out the depths, to clear out the debris. She dove into the darkest corners to clear out the debris. And so just wrote down a couple things about what we have in store for us, like in this next week, inspired by listening to Molly McCord. And so joy, what is our yes? Say yes. Freedom, expansion, and growth. So the sun in Taurus, stability, self-reliance, the island, and support. The sun will move into Gemini May 20th. Mercury and Venus are in Gemini now, and that there is healing, receptivity, release, love, re-evaluation, forgiveness, allowance, generosity, and support. There's going to be revelations. We're making new assessments and choices, decisions around integration and change. This is a time of transformation. We're reevaluating what we value and our relationships, values, worth, abundance, sharing, wealth, understanding, self-love, recalibration, opening, moving, expressing, higher perspectives, observation, deeper wisdom. letting go, detachment, focus on feelings and instincts, priorities and goals, breakthroughs, clarity, coherence, strength, confidence, action, adventure, momentum, activation, shifts, love, ebbs and flows, love, ebbs and flows, softening, acceptance, authenticity, relax and trust, new alignments. Thank you, growth, change, and expansion. Thank you, integration. Thank you, practice and individuation, application and activation, gratitude, joy, wonder, acknowledgement, appreciation. Yeah, to live, love, to live, love, be, and become. So wake up and play, fucking A, it's okay. Play with the beloved, play with God and life, okay? Play through, play in, play back. Lighten it up through play, joy, and curiosity. Try new things and just witness, live, breathe. Non-doing or co-doings, just wake up and play. Be present today, be present to play. So, new attitudes, new stories, new choices, new you. Live, love, choose, know, be, and become. All your love for all of you. We are worthy, we are true, we are enough, we are valued, we are supported, we are held, we are loved, we are well, and we are full. We are full, you fools. So I am enough. I love myself. I accept myself. I value myself. I am grateful for myself and who I really am. I claim, value, acknowledge, and appreciate my life, my gifts, my abilities, my energy, my creativity, my love, my heart, my true intelligence, my magic, and my whole self-worth. I value and appreciate all this love I am. We are worthy and we are enough. I am enough. Love is enough. I am worthy of all this love. I value my relationships, friendships, and partnerships. I value my community. I value my loved ones, friends, and family. I honor all life is. I value my opportunities to learn, expand, and grow. I value my experience to know all that I am. I value my wisdom and my potential. I allow my ignorance and folly to be all that I am. I value my gifts and my blessings, all that's shared so generously. I value what I have been given to be, offer, share, give, receive, experience, embody, and fully claim for all of me. I value others' gifts, contributions, and creative energy. I value others' efforts and their right to be full and free. And so answering the call, so reviewing blocks, barriers, and obstacles, becoming aware of energy leaks and drains, and energy supports and resources, pillars of light and truth, true foundations, structures of integrity for self-worth, self-truth, the truthfulness that we are. Questions, reception, suspension, observation, and reflection, allowance, acknowledgement, appreciation, authenticity, humility, faith, trust, strength, and grace, gratitude, joy, curiosity, wonder, enchantment, individuation, and clarity. Breaking the chains of mental slavery and indentured servitude, healing victim and poverty consciousness in service to the whole. And so, yeah, that's just like kind of what I've been looking at. And in a couple of videos ago, I was looking at parallel structures. And yeah, because of how, like, you know, our culture is being, like, indoctrinated into some ideas and beliefs that don't serve us and that don't serve the whole. It's totally upside down and backwards, and it only serves the false image. Yeah, and so that relates, yeah, to like this system of usury, or this debt-based system that we've been operating in. And so that's where the poverty consciousness and the victim consciousness like comes into play. And so yeah, reevaluating what we value, what matters most, and what is precious to us, and appreciating the value means increasing the value of all that we love. And so just changing our minds one day at a time. And it does have a lot to do with like what we believe we deserve, or what we believe we're capable of, or what we believe we're worthy of, or who we think we really are. Like, it has a lot to do with all those things. And so we've been programmed into believing, like, certain things that don't serve us, that don't serve, like, our wholeness or our fullness, and that separate us, from each other, and from, like, who we really are, and from the gifts, like, that we have available to us, and that gift of love in our hearts. And so I just kind of got on my phone today and was looking at, like, some of the tabs that I had opened, and I had something opened from a couple months ago, actually from February, that I just like, was drawn to today. And it was actually an article from a blog, and it's called Energetic Synthesis, so by Lisa Renee, so energeticsynthesis.com. And the article was about poverty consciousness. And so I wrote down a couple of things that did relate to me, and that just felt like important to me, like, and just felt like doing that. So I did. That's what I got to choose for me, and I just wanted to share a little bit. But I think it's super interesting too that I have this little board, this little soul storyboard that I made the other day, and I showed it. I showed it in one of my last videos. But, not sure how clear this picture is with the glare and stuff, how it looks. But this one has to do with fire, and obviously there's some symbols and stuff there, and there is, like, Venus over here, and, like, hands is like the energy of what we can hold, and of what we can create, and we can reach towards, move towards, and all of that. And this guy right here, he looks like a pirate or a thief, but the way that in this picture looks like he is offering it to the goddess here. And because he values, and he knows, and he appreciates her worth. And that's like, he's standing on this big huge chest of gold, and it's like all this currency, and it's like all these gold coins, like he's lifting them up, but they're falling back into the box again, but like, raising them up towards her. And so I thought that was really cool. And then, like, the dragon over here, and the sunshine and all of that, and the water, the water here. It's interesting as well. So, like, I'm gonna look into that a little bit more. But trust your life, and let go of the illusion that it could be different, but it could be anything different, like. And so, like, letting go and, like, accepting what is, so that we can work with what is, and we can choose, like, what we make of it. And so, this is what I want to share, and then we'll see if anything else wants to be expressed. I did have, like, this journal back from June here that kind of has something in here that I would like to add as well, but we'll see. We'll see what can be. So this was about poverty consciousness, and it was a very, very, very long article, like most of her articles are, but there is an option to listen to it on audio. And I just wrote down, like, a couple pages, and it was, like, really maybe, like, the end part of the article. There's a whole lot more in there, but this is what I really appreciate, and I want to focus on right now and right here. So first, we have to give up all the fear-based motivations that serve materialism and money as our God, and put our full trust in our spiritual service and relationship with the natural laws of God. When we lead from our heart, we know that as a byproduct of our dedicated service in natural law, we are provided for and we can build prosperity. We were not naturally born into poverty consciousness. We were programmed to be a slave and accept poverty consciousness. Our spiritual self comes first, and we must live true to ourselves in order to free ourselves from the fear of death and the slavery program in poverty consciousness. It is unlikely that the concept of currency will cease to exist in our lifetime on Earth, so we need to think about a type of currency that honors and cares for humanity, adds incentives for personal merit, virtues, expertise, and ethical qualities, while supporting the Earth and placing the highest value upon life. When we value human beings and what they contribute, that the value is embedded in the work, service, or product that is exchanged. The money received should represent the fair value exchange of that work. Money received represents the value of your work, time, energy, talents, and contribution. When you spend that money, you are letting go of the value created and honoring the value of another person, honoring the value another person has created. So, when we value human beings and what they contribute, the value is embedded in the work, service, or product that is exchanged. The money received should represent the fair value exchange of that work. Money received represents the value of your work, time, energy, talents, and contribution. When you spend that money, you are letting go of the value created and honoring the value another person has created. We exchange our value for another person's value, and that circulates exchanges of energy between people and systems of energy. In order to function, fairness, ethical conduct, and trustworthiness is critical in that there is a fair distribution of resources between all parties involved. That is based upon time and effort made. Equity in a system means that there is a direct link between the value associated with another person's actions. Equity in a system means that there is a direct link between the value associated with another person's actions. All people are component parts of the entire system of energy that is equally valued for their contribution, and this is needed to function well. Communities or systems of energy and organizations rely on collaboration, cooperation, and fair value exchange in order to thrive as a community, resource, and remain available to those who value and participate with it. So communities or systems of energy and organizations rely on collaboration, cooperation, and fair value exchange in order to thrive as a community, resource, and remain available to those who value and participate with it. In the current debt-based monetary system, most people do not have value for themselves. In the current debt-based monetary system, most people do not have value for themselves. They have no value or appreciation for others or their hard work or the time and effort towards something being created. When people do not hold value for energy or for others' time and efforts through self-entitlement or lack of value in themselves, they become energy vampires that siphon energy and stop the flow of circulation. Any system of energy, such as an organization that has too many people that are energy vampires or refuse to contribute, and that group does not hold value for the services or does not want to engage in a fair value exchange, the overall energy drain can kill the organization. The organization or service becomes unsupportable with too many people that refuse to circulate a fair value exchange. This is why it's critical to weed out energy vampires and re-educate them beyond poverty consciousness to learn how to be competent enough to become a productive member of the community. As humans learn to develop emotional competency, they develop self-worth and can then value other people's time, energy, and efforts in order to contribute. This energetic concept is crucial to understand in any organization. In the current 3D mindset, giving people free things that they have no value for is disastrous. It drains precious resources and is extremely wasteful and unproductive. The key component for humanity to learn in this economic shift is to appreciate human life and natural resources while learning how to offer fair value exchanges that contribute to the whole community. To shift the economic model, we have to listen to what people need and not give them things they have no value or use for. Many of the politicians in power are totally out of touch with what people really need in order to have an increased quality of life. When we orientate ourselves to be of service to the whole and we cultivate our talents and act authentically, caring for others and applying effort to improve ourselves, it is a natural byproduct to manifest more prosperity and happiness. So, when When we orientate ourselves to be of service to the whole, and we cultivate our talents and act authentically, caring for others and applying effort to improve ourselves, it is a natural byproduct to manifest more prosperity and happiness. Given all the various challenges we face today as part of the human race, it is clear we have no real control over the external, the larger environment, or the outcome. This means that we must change all of our priorities to value the internal and intrinsic parts of ourselves as the most critical parts to preserve and to feel happiness. This means a lot of what we can control is how we think and what we move towards. Most of our happiness relies on our personal attitudes. No matter who we are and our level of spiritual development we have, all humans can relate to these pillars in order to remember how we each can find happiness while seeing or experiencing personal or global turmoil. So, no matter who we are and the level of spiritual development we have, all humans can relate to these pillars in order to remember how we each can find happiness while seeing or experiencing personal or global turmoil. So the 4 pillars for being happy. 1, expansion. 2, connection. 3, gratitude. And 4, service. Expansion. Focus on personal growth towards spiritual authenticity and having a variation of life to create that expansion. Focus on personal growth towards spiritual authenticity and having a variation of life experiences to create that expansion. Connection. Having meaningful human relationships and cultivating deep connections in our life. Gratitude. Practice appreciation and gratitude for what you have every day. Service. Being of service and making contributions to the larger whole, making a difference. As we become more expanded in our personal growth, we begin to experience the feelings of connection with all of life, and then can choose to be grateful that we can make a difference through our intentional service to the whole. So those were the 4 pillars: expansion, connection, gratitude, and service. It will be up to each of us to use our wisdom and discernment and really feel where new levels of change can be made in our lives. It feels like there will be more opportunities in this year to make value exchanges that increase the quality and value of our life, even while it may feel like a tumultuous time in our life. We have support and we have the ability to increase value in ways that we did not before. Even though it may not look that way on the outside, we do have help to multiply the value that we bring to our lives, and is a part of exchanging and bringing more value to it. We will have to discipline ourselves not to fall prey to the pundits. There will be a lot of noise and distraction. Do not fall prey to the service to self-hypnosis. Service to others, which is service to capital S self, the whole, service to the whole. And that's when raccoon will come in again as well. So service to others is becoming more anchored as the law of structure. Realize there is enough for everyone and integrate this understanding into how you look at things. Following the law of one and service to others allows the universe to return those resources to us where it cannot if we are caught in consciousness traps. So in those false image traps. As we uphold personal value and spiritual integrity and collaborate with spiritual forces in the coming year, try not to place any condition on how any of it plays out. It never looks like what we expect, and the most aligned options often come at the 11th hour. Thank you for your courage and bravery to be a truth seeker. Please be kind to yourself and to each other. Lisa Renee, energeticsynthesis.com. And that article was from January 2017. And so what I wrote about that was, wow, that was so valuable for me. What matters most to me, and what do I value and appreciate most of all? What do I love and contribute to? What do I love and what do I get to contribute to? What have I been contributing to in service to self and the all? So, in service to the whole. What do I feel grateful for? What do I get to increase the value of in order to regenerate and appreciate, to recirculate, to expand and move into or towards, to honor, celebrate, acknowledge, praise, bless, and thank, nourish, nurture, develop, cultivate, and exchange. My virtues, values, authenticity, willingness, openness, trust, strength, faith, gifts, blessings, lessons, experience, and opportunities. So, yeah. I appreciate that on poverty consciousness and turning that around. Remembering and choosing to have value and appreciation for ourselves, and to appreciate all of our relationships and all of our opportunities and this gift that we've been given to be. And so raccoon came up a couple days ago for me. And raccoon is the generous protector. And a couple of the things that I wanted to share that go along today about that. Glasses. Being a pen. A little bent. Okay, so Raccoons leave a watcher behind when raiding a campsite or a mountain cabin, usually the dominant male. He is always fed first by the other raiders to honor his vigilance as the group's protector. This uncommon lack of greed is as rare in the world of humans as it is in the rest of the animal world. While other creatures fight one another for the best of a kill, Raccoon teaches the universal law of giving back to the source of your strength, guidance, and protection. You are also reminded that benevolence and generosity come around full circle. You are also reminded that benevolence and generosity come around full circle to reward the giver. If Raccoon wandered into your cards today, the little bandit may be telling you to look around and see who needs your strength at this time. Speak up in defense of another instead of remaining silent when others are gossiping. Maybe it is time to share the bounty of your time, energy, or possessions with the less fortunate. But remember to help those in need develop their own protector and provider skills. In all cases, Raccoon asks that you honor yourself and others equally. Provide for your own needs, or your well will be dry when you choose to give generously. Chiefs earn their eagle feathers when they promote every human's right to self-dignity. Acting in this manner brings that same honor to yourself and to your family. Contrary Raccoon, because that's the position I pulled it in. If Raccoon has appeared in the reverse position, you may be robbing yourself of much needed strength at this time. Do you need an attitude adjustment? If you are wasting energy on self-pity, feeling like an underdog, do something nice for someone else. So service to the whole. The change of focus could create more self-esteem. Observing the authentic needs in another situation absolves self-pity. Another contrary message is denying the need to be generous or compassionate with yourself. In this case, you may not be providing enough workable options to solve your present challenges. If you are feeling drained, it may be time to receive the gratitude of those you have helped in the past. If you have been giving too much and have forgotten to honor your own needs, Raccoon could be telling you to steal some time to be alone. The little bandit also reminds you to keep watch for takers who never give back. Keep yourself from feeding others who are too needy or too greedy. Balanced Raccoon medicine does not waste its generosity on those who refuse to help themselves or are too lazy to contribute or learn self-reliance. So, yeah, again, that is just like, don't feed the vampires. Kind of like, yeah. And honor your own value and your own worth. Don't sell yourself short or sell yourself cheaply. And the bargain without knowing. Knowing our own worth and knowing our own value. And so, yeah, which brings me back around to the dismemberment and the wandering. So I started this journal here April 22nd, and it's been about 22 days. And, so this much, yeah, I filled up more than half of it so far in those 22 days. And so there's a lot to review, when I'm almost finished with, a journal. Usually, it takes me about 4 to 6 to 8 weeks to finish or to go through one of these sketchbooks. And so I super appreciate this practice that I get to choose for me, and I get to appreciate all these gifts that are given to me and then reflect and review and continue. So it's just something that I love, something I so appreciate that I get to choose this for myself and choose this work for me. And it does contribute to my well-being and to my fullness and to cultivating and increasing and appreciating more prosperity and happiness. And it does actually contribute to everything that I hold of value and worth. Yeah. So The wandering, the third stage, is over here. And on the previous page, I feel like there was something. I started about the dismemberment. Oh yes, with the poor me stories. How do we care for ourselves and honor our own energy? How do we direct our own power in the world? Where can we challenge ourselves? Where can we allow ourselves? Where can we value ourselves? And where can we own, be accountable for ourselves? Yeah. Wow. So, the dismemberment, it was a separation, and it is like separating the wheat from the chaff. A separation, separating the wheat from the chaff, sorting through what is useful from what is not or is no longer needed or viable, letting go of what no longer serves or supports our true wellness and well-being, our true nature, our wellspring of true being. New, true, and full whole stories. Love is the remedy. Truth is the balm. Simplicity. And just like some really quick things that I wrote about the wandering in the third stage of the handless maiden. Spirit moves where we move. Unseen help and divine intervention. Unseen help and assistance, divine intervention. Generosity and kindness, prosperity, wealth, value, and appreciation. Honoring worthiness, self-worth, and fertility, the tree of life, the fruit, the root, and the seed. The numbering of the pairs, divine order and law, the moat being drained, the passage made clear, the magician, the gardener, the king, the handless maiden and the spirit in white, the questions the magician posed to the maiden, and the proposal of the king to this new mysterious queen, beloved and seen, bride of God, midwife. As a valuable, worthy, innocent beauty of being, her worth is known and seen. She is cared for, appreciated, nourished, nurtured, developed, matured, protected, and acknowledged, accounted for. So I thought that was great. That's what I wrote on April 24th, 2021. And so it's kind of cool to come back full circle or back around to that and then continue and move through and move towards into the fourth stage. And yeah, which I'll probably talk about next time. But I'll just share this last little poem and this fun little wordplay that I got to choose for me last year. It's great. So play back. It's called Story with a Charge. It was about poor you and poor me. Yeah, poor stories. Those poor fucking stories. So poor fucking you, poor fucking me. What's the lack all about? What is the poverty? What is the story of lack? What is this story about? What's the etymology of victim, poverty, lack, debt, usury? Carrying burdens? Carrying burdens, why not let them go? Why not allow? Why not enough and why too much? Why disallow? Why disallow her fullness, the fullness of life, being disallowed? Why is the fullness of life and her full expression being disallowed? Why the frustration, hostility, and disease, the discord, the disallowance, the rising rage, or the silent suppressed rage, coming to the surface to be seen and healed, integrated, known, or misdirected and dumped? Is it the dishonoring of life's fullness and integrity, or is it really the lack of? Bitches be trippin', LOL, trippin' bitches, trippin' bitches, trippin' bitches. Bitches be trippin', trippin' bitches, bitches trippin'. Collective feminine, healing old wounds of poverty, lack, usurped power, magic, and fertility. Take responsibility, play back, play fool, play fool. Sometimes it's right to fight back. Sometimes we get to pause and reflect. Open surrender, get still, ribbit, ask for clarity and protection. Frog, muddy waters, temperance. Move to another lily pad to get another clear perspective. Swim, sing, call, listen, trust, ask, receive, open, listen, call in clarity, rain, replenishment, cleansing energy, washing away all that is not true and aligned or in harmonic resonance with all the love that I want to co-create, invite, cultivate, propagate, navigate, experience, participate, and birth midwife into being. Life, manifestation, prosperity, authentic intimacy, freedom, belonging, inclusivity, harmony, peace, wellness, fullness, well-being, empowered, whole, well, and free, growing, thriving, expanding, stretching, nourishing, connecting, supporting, valuing, honoring, sharing, offering, serving, giving, living, expressing, embodying, practicing, nurturing, allowing, encouraging. Gentle strength and fiery, spicy, tell it like it is. I am no longer willing to sugarcoat shit and call the shit a brownie when it's clearly shit. That's just the way it fucking is. And if I get to be a bitch in your story and in my story, yay, that gets to be what it is. Fucking bitch. Saucy, fiery, sassy, and wiry. I'll tell you how it fucking is. I'll play the part of the bitch like no one else's biz snatch. That's the truth. I'll be a bitch like no one else. Okay, let's play. Go bitches. Light, shadow, action. Wake up and play. Hug your bitch once a day. Unless she wants more, then bitch, please. Speak up. Claim all your hugs and all of your plays, all of your stories and all of your games. Claim your bitch. Live your life. Just wake up and play. All the roles that we get to project, express, reflect, share, radiate, relate, live, and be. All the players and stories, all this love for all of we. LOL, silly beings being silly, silly beings. Forgot you've been playing and you got carried away by the emotional waves of ego identity, the false personality that disallows full potentiality, fertility, expression, reception, connection, exchange. Circle of all things as emptiness is to fullness, fluid perception, and living energies. For love to express her creativity through all of her ways, all of love's ways. Love through all ways. Always. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun to do. Like, it was like last year. Super, super challenging June. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know what to do with some of my energy and some of that rage that was coming up. I didn't want to suppress it. Like what was my regular habit to do, and just being present and making the space and making the room to allow it to be expressed, and like in creative ways rather than destructive ways, where that was my MO because I didn't know any other way. In the past, it would just get squashed down and stuffed down and then manifest itself in addictions. Like that's where the energy had to go somewhere, or and just kind of that was my substitution for what I really needed for myself. What I really needed was to express how I was feeling, and since I wasn't able to express that, it was suppressed and repressed, and I was oppressed by my victim tyrant. And that's what kept me on my wheel of suffering and recycling through that pain again and again and again. And so now that I'm willing to allow all of it, and not just the stuff that I like, and also seeing that in the Untethered Soul, about like how we can block ourselves by either not allowing that energy to move through us, because either we're clinging to it because we like it and we want to possess it, or we don't like it and we want to reject it, we want to push it away. And that is different in a lot of ways, and just use your own discernment and your own ways of looking at these things, because sometimes they get misinterpreted or mistranslated, like because of our hang-ups of the words we use or speak, or all of that energy. Sometimes we're not even aware of it. Like we reject something outright. It's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater because there's one thing in it we don't like, and then we think all of it is, just not worth anything, and we discard it and we dismiss it and we trash it, or devalue it. So I forgot where I was going with that now, but the untethered soul. So if we cling to something, we're preventing it from moving through us, and if we're pushing something away, we're preventing it from moving through us. And so I thought that was helpful to be reminded of, to allow all of it, and allow our response and what we are being asked to either reclaim or respond to or integrate or let go of or develop within ourselves to balance and harmonize like that dual nature within ourselves. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense, a little coherent sense. And this last little thing, the Nag Hammadi Library, Thunder Perfect Mind, the Thunder Perfect Mind, which, yeah, the thunder beings, that's part of frog medicine too, as well, for clarity. And so this is the Gnostic Society Library, the Nag Hammadi Thunder Perfect Mind. I was sent forth from the power, and I have come to those who reflect upon me, and I have been found among those who seek after me. Look upon me, you who reflect upon me, and you hearers, hear me. You who are waiting for me, take me to yourselves, and do not banish me from your sight, and do not make your voice hate me, nor your hearing. Do not be ignorant of me anywhere or any time. Be on your guard. Do not be ignorant of me. For I am the first and the last. I am the honored one and the scorned one. I am the whore and the holy one. I am the wife and the virgin. I am the mother and the daughter. I am the members of my mother. I am the barren one, and many are her sons. I am she whose wedding is great, and I have not taken a husband. I am the midwife, and she who does not bear. I am the solace of my labor pains. I am the bride and the bridegroom. And it is my husband who begot me. I am the mother of my father, and the sister of my husband, and he is my offspring. I am the slave of him who prepared me. I am the ruler of my offspring, but he is the one who begot me before the time on a birthday, and he is my offspring in due time, and my power is from him. I am the staff of his power in his youth, and he is the rod of my old age. And whatever he wills happens to me. I am the silence that is incomprehensible, and the idea whose remembrance is frequent. I am the voice whose sound is manifold, and the word whose appearance is multiple. I am the utterance of my name. Why, you who hate me, do you love me, and hate those who love me? You who deny me, confess me, and you who confess me, deny me. You who tell the truth about me, lie about me, and you who have lied about me, tell the truth about me. You who know me, be ignorant of me, and those who have not known me, let them know me. For I am knowledge and ignorance. I am shame and boldness. I am shameless. I am ashamed. I am strength and I am fear. I am war and peace. Give heed to me. I am the one who is disgraced and the great one. Give heed to my poverty and my wealth. Do not be arrogant to me when I am cast out upon the earth, and you will find me in those that are to come. And do not look upon me on the dung heap, nor go and leave me cast out, and you will find me in the kingdoms. And do not look upon me when I am cast out among those who are disgraced and in the least places, nor laugh at me. And do not cast me out among those who are slain in violence. But I am compassionate, and I am cruel. Be on your guard. Do not hate my obedience, and do not love my self-control. In my weakness, do not forsake me, and do not be afraid of my power. For why do you despise my fear and curse my pride? But I am she who exists in all fears and strength and trembling. I am she who is weak, and I am well in a pleasant place. I am senseless, and I am wise. Why have you hated me in your counsels? For I shall be silent among those who are silent, and I shall appear and speak. Why then have you hated me, you Greeks? Because I am a barbarian among the barbarians? For I am the wisdom of the Greeks and the knowledge of the barbarians. I am the judgment of the Greeks and of the barbarians. I am the one whose image is great in Egypt, and the one who has no image among the barbarians. I am the one who has been hated everywhere, and who has been loved everywhere. I am the one whom they call life, and you have called death. I am the one whom they call law, and you have called lawlessness. I am the one whom you have pursued, and I am the one whom you have seized. I am the one whom you have scattered, and you have gathered me together. I am the one before whom you have been ashamed, and you have been shameless to me. I am she who does not keep festival, and I am she whose festivals are many. I am godless. I am the one whose God is great. I am the one whom you have reflected upon, and you have scorned me. I am unlearned, and they learn from me. I am the one that you have despised, and you reflect upon me. I am the one whom you have hidden from, and you appear to me. But whenever you hide yourselves, I myself will appear. For whenever you appear, I myself will hide from you. Those who have to it senselessly taken me, understanding from grief, and take me to yourselves from understanding and grief, and take me to yourselves from places that are ugly and in ruin, and rob from those which are good, even though in ugliness. Out of shame take me to yourselves shamelessly, and out of shamelessness and shame unbraid my members in yourselves, and come forward to me, you who know me, and you who know my members, and establish the great ones among the small first creatures. Come forward to childhood, and do not despise it, because it is small and it is little. And do not turn away greatnesses in some parts from the smallnesses, for the smallnesses are known from the greatnesses. Why do you curse me and honor me? You have wounded, and you have had mercy. Do not separate me from the first ones whom you have known, and do not cast anyone out, nor turn anyone away. Turn you away, and know him not. What is mine? I know the first ones, and those after them know me, but I am the mind of, and the rest of. I am the knowledge of my inquiry, and the finding of those who seek after me, and the command of those who ask of me, and the power of the powers in my knowledge, of the angels who have been sent at my word, and of the gods in their seasons by my counsel, and of the spirits of every man who exists with me, and of women who dwell within me. I am the one who is honored and who is praised, and who is despised scornfully. I am peace, and war has come because of me. I am an alien and a citizen. I am the substance, and the one who has no substance. Those who are without association with me are ignorant of me, and those who are in my substance are the ones who know me. Those who are close to me have been ignorant of me, and those who are far away from me are the ones who have known me. On the day when I am close to you, you are far away from me, and on the day when I am far away from you, I am close to you. And I'll just stop it right there. There's a couple more pages, but if you want to find that on the Gnostic Society Library, the Nag Hammadi Library, The Thunder Perfect Mind, translated by George W. McRae. And I printed that out at my dad's house a couple years ago when I was first starting on this process of individuation. And yeah, awakening and remembering myself. And the first time that I read this, like, there was just tears streaming down my face. And it was just, it was so beautiful and so potent and so pure and so full. And it just spoke straight to my heart. And it was, yeah, it broke my heart, like, open to receive, like, all this wisdom. So remembering and dismembering, yeah. And it's just like continuity and, yeah. Unity, totality, allowing of that duality to be whole and to be complete, to know ourselves, to love ourselves, and to be all that we are, to value and to hold ourselves worthy and to be accountable for all we are. So, yeah, I feel complete with all that said and all that shared. And so thank you. I super appreciate you. I super appreciate all of these things and all that there is to be grateful for, all this gratitude. Yeah, all this new and all this true and all this fullness, all this truthfulness and transparency and opportunity, like, to be accountable for our responsibilities and our gifts and all that we are. And to really, like, start to create in those ways and claim that inner creator, that archetype, because we are creators. We're the creators and the artists of our lives. So what do we want to create? And what are we choosing? And what are we contributing to? What do we value? And what do we appreciate, so we can increase that worth and value for the whole, for ourselves, and for each other, for all. All right, I hope you're taking good care of yourself and enjoying yourself and enjoying your life and choosing what feels right for you. All right, I love you all. Take good care of yourselves. Be well, be loved yourself. Value yourself and appreciate yourself and acknowledge yourself for all that you are. All right, I'll talk to you next time. See you for now. Bye-bye.